The following program contains adult language and juvenile conversations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, just recently in the past week or so, I heard about, and I'm sure maybe some of you have too, about that there's going to be a Cannibal Holocaust video game coming out. Now, I don't know what platform that's going to be on, but I think it's something that I just might have to invest in. I mean, do turtles give you extra lives, or do spiders take away your health? Who knows? I can only imagine what this is going to be like. These are the kind of things that I think about when I've been out of work for the past month. But I have this show to keep on keeping on and keeping me sane in certain respects. And I'm sure the other guys feel the same way. But they're fucking working. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 404 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, also emanating live via video from Casa de God of War, and then we also have, not on video, but we'll work on that next week. We also have broadcasting from Casa de Zero as well. So we're, once again, 4 locations. This is getting crazy, but we're trying to work on the complexity of it here. So we do have a video feed for Ares this week, and we'll work on getting another one for Monster Zero next week. So holy shit.
I'm sure.
Go ahead.
I was just going to, you cut out, so I thought you stopped, but I'm sure looking forward to seeing my ugly face again.
Yeah, exactly. This must be a new feature I'm watching on the Facebook Live, and it's actually generating captions. That's a whole new level of scariness for our show.
Oh, Bombaleo.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to say Bombaleo. I wonder how they're going to translate that. I'm really curious. I'm watching right now. Hold on. Let's see what it actually says.
Is it in real time?
It's about 20 seconds behind.
Well,
So.
say the word.
Well, he did.
Bomb.
Oh, it says Bob Bayo.
Bombaleo.
Bob Bayo.
That's my new alias for hotel rooms. They open up
Yeah,
again.
That's your new name, Baba Bayo.
Holy shit, I love it. So that's interesting. So I guess people can now, that's a new level of hilarity. I think that's a drinking game right there. I think that's a drinking game, watching Trick or Treat Radio with the captions on.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So
Now there's audio, visual, and text evidence. That's pretty good.
yeah, exactly. So yes, we are live, broadcasting live. And once again, adding a little bit of complexity. I'm gonna have to change the way this looks because it looks weird seeing 3 faces side by side with different aspect ratios. So I'm gonna have to fix that, but we'll figure something out. But I'll probably work on it throughout the show.
Yeah, I'm watching it on the TV, and it's like Wolfie has the most amount of space on the screen.
Yeah,
and then it goes down to Raven Shadow, and then Ares is last.
Well, Ares is last because that's all I'm getting from him. His aspect ratio is like up and down, so that's as wide as he can get. So, but we'll work with what we got, and we'll see what we can do. So we are trying something new, and I know the people who are listening to podcasts don't give a fuck because they can't tell any different anyways. So, but Bob Bayo over there at the Lair of Lost Swag. Bob Bayo. Oh my God, this is trippy. Just watching the captions. This is bizarre.
It's weird.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's throwing me off. So I'll have to turn the captions off. So on tonight's show, we got some cool stuff planned. We're going to be talking about a film called The Other Lamb, an IFC Midnight joint that just came out. We'll be talking about that a little bit later, and then later, at the end of the show, to close things out, the headliner, we're going to be joined by old friend of the show and the man behind Teal, the amazing music of Teal. We'll be joined by Jim Smith. And Jim's been doing some cool stuff during the quarantine, and he is putting out a compilation album tomorrow for charity. So we're going to hear all about that. I'm excited to get the scoop on that. So Jim will be joining us later on. If you're watching live, it'll be in the 10:30 p.m. Time frame. So about 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys are listening to the podcast, that'll be basically the last half hour or so. We'll be joined by Jim. So looking forward to that. I want to hear all about his compilation, hear who's going to be on it. You guys can find out more about, how you can donate and help out charity. And so that's what we got planned for tonight. You know what we haven't done in a while, guys? You know it's been a very long time. We haven't done we haven't done intros in a while.
Oh,
Aries is
God
shaking
damn
his
it.
head. Raven Shadow, you were there way early. You were honestly, you were the first one there tonight. You were in your seat before anyone else. You're clapping for yourself.
Wow.
He's Barry Horowitzing himself now, patting himself
Don't
on the
hurt
back.
yourself.
Yeah.
No, I had my hair comb, my sunglasses were on, Ollie was here, everything with dishes were done, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was ready.
I'm proud of you.
See?
Yeah, I am proud. I'm proud of you. All right, so we'll do intros because of that. So we haven't done these in a while. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio. Also, host another podcast you guys can hear. Comes out every Wednesday/Thursday. Usually, we record on Wednesday nights, and if it's done before midnight, it'll be up as soon as it's done. So it's usually up around midnight on Wednesday. But that is Force Insensitive, a Star Wars podcast. Myself, old friend of the show, Dynamo Mars, Rocky, who is who's been on the show many times, and also Raven Shadow. Remind me, I want to talk about Rocky's his gig, and then also my buddy Alberto, who has done several of the Star Wars episodes with us. So 4 of us talk about Star Wars. We've been doing the Clone Wars. We're on season 3 right now. It's been a lot of fun. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead. And you can hear if you missed the wacky Mars hijinks of him falling asleep or eating 2 pounds of yogurt during a recording and having to go to the bathroom, then you can find it over there.
It's must listen.
Yeah, must listen. Yeah. So check that out. Also, we have the Vulgar Guru of Horror, star of Blood Pigs, Fetus, the upcoming Morbid Tales, and Septic, one-time contributor for Horrorhound Magazine, Monster Zero.
All the way in my own little home. I miss you guys. It's this. I got to tell you, this really is starting to suck. I mean, and I was enjoying not seeing you guys for the first few weeks, but now this is getting a little monotonous.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is fucking glorious, and now you're like, fuck.
You have no idea what I'm doing back here.
Well, we don't want to know.
I got some ideas.
How I'm dressed. Or how I'm dressed. Let's just say I just got reacquainted with a couple of friends.
Oh. So you can podcast in the nude now. You should be happy about that. I hear a disapproving sigh from Aries.
Where'd he go?
Oh, sorry.
He's hiding his head.
Okay.
There you He's puking in a bucket or something.
Oh man, we also have the whiskey. Did I change it to whiskey pickling? I don't remember that.
I am a little pickled.
It's been a while since I've done these, but I did change it somewhere along the way to the whiskey pickling, triumph riding, stage erecting, whiskey drinking, chief of security, the warrior of nor'easters, America's sweetheart, Rick Rubin's stunt double, he drinks and breaks things, Ares, god of war.
Hello all.
So you guys get to see Aries' little lair there. He's you get some Star Wars stuff behind you. Jack Skellington.
In my dungeon here.
Yes.
Yeah, just a bunch of crap. To give me some kind of a backdrop, I just put a bunch of crap on this shelf here.
Is that a TARDIS I see as well?
That is a TARDIS. That is a little wooden TARDIS that I built.
Oh wow! Look at that.
I'm very. Look at that. That's neat. I love this thing.
That's some fun.
Wow.
Look at
You're like a
you be in the art.
you're like a regular
Well,
Ron.
I didn't.
You really are like a regular Ron Swanson.
I mean, I didn't carve it. It came in pieces, and I put it together. It's like a giant puzzle.
Well, I'm a
well,
little
that-
disappointed now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see it's laser cut. That's all the burns on it. But I do love that.
Wow, you did a really good job, Aries.
What the fuck? What the?
You do that in art class?
When was the last time you put anything together?
You're talking to Raven Show.
Either one of you. I don't care.
I built the shelf that you can't see on camera. I built that. In the shelf in the comic room. Took a long time.
I put together a cabinet set
When?
a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago. Oh shit, that's good.
That's really cool. I did.
Yeah, it is cool. And we also have the glorified grip, the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for the Lair of Lost Swag, the pimp of promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor and secretary of the sexy speakeasy, Mr. Runtime, the Duke of Degeneracy, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael Ravenshadow.
Oh man, yeah, it's fucking good to be back.
Where'd you go?
Where have you been?
Yeah.
Since last week.
Wait a minute.
Good to be back doing the show.
You miss everyone?
Because I do, and it sucks because on paper I should love this fucking apocalypse, right? I mean, you don't, you can't go out. You got to stay home. You got to wear a mask. All that sucks is that I miss my girlfriend, parents, and my friends.
Your girlfriend's parents?
No, my girlfriend, comma,
Oh,
my
okay.
parents.
Okay.
Parents. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. I really want my girlfriend's Nana to hang out with me. I never met her. I'm sure she's nice. Yeah.
Evil Corny's hanging out. He says that Vader is a nice touch, Aries. The Vader
Oh, that
over your
Vader's
shoulder.
great.
Yeah.
That's probably about 20 years old. Still works. I don't want to
Wow.
hit the button. It goes on for like a minute.
Is it the one with that has is that the lightsaber in his arm that you push it out, or is it different?
No, it lights up. It's a piggy bank. You drop a coin in, and it plays the music and then talks. And
Gotcha.
And actually, to the left of that is that Marv in the electric chair?
oh god, yep. Let's see. Let me run through. We have Vader. We have Marvin the electric chair who also talks. His battery's dead. Yeah, Dark Knight, Batman, Joker, TARDIS, and Jack Skellington.
Nice.
That is what is behind me. And should I turn the camera around so you can see the mess in front of me?
No, we probably don't want that. Oh man. So that's what's going on for tonight. It's us living in a pandemic, trying to make things work. So I don't know. You guys have any quarantine stories to tell or anything? I know MZ has a lot of time now.
Too much time.
You going crazy, MZ? A little too much time in your hands?
A little bit, yeah. I'm starting to become very, very anxious, just staying inside, going out whenever I feel like I need to.
I hope you don't go
I've been doing
out
my
that often.
No, I don't go out that often.
Okay, good.
No.
You're supposed to be going for your walks.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're supposed to be going for your walks.
Well, I mean, with the exception of those, yeah. I've been doing my walks. I'm gonna be going out again tomorrow morning.
That's the yard time.
I got time for it now. So.
Oh, actually, the
I,
oh, go ahead, MC. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, as far as stories go, I mean, I really don't have anything going on. I've been selling a bunch of shit on eBay, so that's really my only, thing that keeps me busy. So,
wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know it's a dull life. What can I tell you, man? I mean, look, I don't have a job. I mean, it sucks.
Man, I would be doing so much if I didn't have a job. Unfucking believable, this guy. It sucks. I'm bored. I don't do anything. It sucks, dude. I
watch all Tubi.
I watch Tubi all day.
I'll tell you what I did do to curb the boredom a little bit. I went out and bought one of those mini consoles with all the games on it.
Where did you go out and buy it? Why are you going out shopping?
I do need to go out and shop every now and again,
For necessities. That is not a necessity.
Yeah, it's not essential.
The hell it's not. It keeps me from like slicing my throat open.
Jesus. Anyone else who's gets to stay home with their girlfriend all day would probably be okay, but not MC. What's a slice of throat? What's a slice of
baby,
throat
I gotta go in
open?
the world. Because I'm gonna kill you and myself after this, baby. I'll be back in a minute. Keep the squash hot.
Keep the squash hot. Oh shit.
So I did that, and I'm keeping myself busy with that. I'm out walking,
Oh my God! Write a fucking story, man. Write a script.
You write a script. Leave me alone.
Build a TARDIS.
What'd you call me?
Wow.
The low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, we're off to a great start. I can't wait to see what this looks like with captions.
Yeah, that'll be good. So
this page is not working.
It came off as build a tart.
I'm going, but I do go out. I am walking. I am. I'm going to start losing some of this weight. Hopefully.
Hopefully,
In
no,
November.
not hopefully. Do it. Do it.
Oh, don't give me that positive attitude bullshit.
It's
I'm
not.
going to do
It's
it.
not positive attitude. It's not procrastinating. Just fucking do it. I'm the king of procrastination. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm working on it. I am
worried about you, buddy. I am worried about you. All I'm doing is watching the fucking captions, and it's hilarious. Go build a tart. Oh shit!
So I had a counter on the streets.
Whoa!
day.
You had an encounter on the streets?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I work in the city, and so I'm on break smoking a butt, right?
Why are you
And
going
now
outside?
it's fake. What's that?
Why are you going outside?
Because you can't fucking smoke indoors,
Well,
John.
give it
I
up.
fucking tried.
Give it up.
Fuck John. People have to go outside. Don't you go outside at all?
To walk Ozzy, yes. That's it.
Ozzy, yes. That's it.
Well, isn't that dangerous?
I wear a mask.
I wear a mask.
Yeah, and I'm careful. I cut a little hole in the mask so I could smoke out of, so it's fine. I'm doing my part. I care. So now, but it's out. You guys know where I work, or at least where I park.
Yeah.
Now there's no one around me, and I see someone staggering up the hill.
No,
Like literally, I feel like I'm fucking in The Walking Dead, where it's like, oh shit, there's a fucking, the 10 a.m. zombies coming up the fucking street. So I go stand. I'm standing outside the Bull Mansion, right? And it's the guy's walking past me, smoking a butt, and he goes, "Hey, are you driving?" And I'm like, "No."
Are you driving?
No, I'm just standing here smoking a butt. Oh, I got asthma. This hill's killing me. I'll see if you give me a ride. I'm like, no, I'm on break from work, dude. Oh, I just came from this girl's house. She gave me a blowjob.
Oh my God.
My God.
But now I gotta go walk up the hill and try to get a ride. I'm like, all right, well, man, good luck. You're doing better than most folks in the apocalypse, so good luck, man. And he staggered up the hill.
And that was it?
And that was it?
That was it. And I went back to fucking work, and I'm a fucking asshole. So this guy's getting blowjobs. Monster Zero's fucking getting Transformers, and fucking sucks.
He got a game system.
You got a game system.
Why
He
am
got
I
a fucking
coming
game
through
system.
Why am I
MZ's
coming through MZ's
fucking thing? I'm echoing somewhere,
echoing some?
and it looks like it's coming.
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, it's fucking stupid.
Low.
What? It's only happening sometimes,
sounded-
so it's one of you guys, I think.
Is it me?
I don't know. Can't tell.
I
No.
bet it's MZ. He's the only one without headphones.
That is true.
Fuck. You have no fucking headphones?
MZ, we're gonna upgrade your fucking. You're out there buying game systems at fucking Walmart. Get some fucking headphones.
Yeah, you should run a laptop and headphones.
Yeah.
Guys, hold on. I got headphones. Hold on.
Okay. Oh boy.
They're in a box in the downstairs closet. I'll get it.
These are going to be these giant 70s ear cans.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Oh shit. So MZ's gonna try to get his headphones on. We'll see how this goes.
Great.
What else? The other thing I wanted to bring up, actually, Raven Shadow, is when we were introduced doing the intro there, I mentioned Rocky on Force Insensitive. I know you've been a big fan of his Saturday night shows. You want to talk about those?
Yeah, man. No, it was coming up is going to be week 4, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, I mean, if you've heard him if you heard Rocky on this show or on Force Insensitive, or even caught his stuff online, No Man, KNOW Man. Not only is he into some super nerdy shit, but he's a real fucking talented guy, and he's been putting on these weekly shows from his studio in Canada, and it's just been a highlight of my week, and probably a lot of other people too.
And not to not to put Rock down, but that's not saying much for your week.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's like work job, chafing, Rocky. So fine, all right. Obviously, Rocky's is much better, but no, I mean he'll do 2 to fucking 3 hour sets of either he'll do covers, to do requests, but now he's been starting to do his original material, and he's super talented, super fun. We chatted a little bit yesterday before he recorded your program, Johnny, and I just love that dude so much, and he's going all out. So I mean, last week, Johnny was in the chat, Marge was in the chat, Marion. It's pretty much like a Trick or Treat Radio. Yeah, Slagoth will show up, Corny.
Now you're gonna fucking forget people, so don't even bother.
And a bunch of odd motherfuckers, you know what I mean? That's nice. Hey, you should hang out with us, man.
How do you know I don't?
That's true. How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
On the chat.
All right, you got headphones on, MZ?
I do.
Okay, you're a little hotter now. You're coming a little louder, but is it a headset or is it a what kind of headphones?
Beats.
Beats. Okay, so you can't move the mic, right? It's in one spot.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, you sounded better there, so we're good. We're good.
Okay.
All right, so everyone's got headphones now. Hopefully, I don't hear myself reverberating anymore. So, but yeah, so Rocky's been doing Saturday nights 8:30 p.m. on Facebook. If you guys are not already, I try to if I'm thinking of it or if I'm around, I try to post them in the Trick or Treat Radio group. for people to check out if they're looking for something to do on Saturday night. But yeah, he just grabs his acoustic and sets up a mic, has a little PA system, does the whole thing. It's basically like going to a little club and hanging out and watching someone play some music. And Rocky does a good job. So takes requests and does. He's awesome.
He communicates. He also imbibes various things.
Yes, so people tend to communicate, Raven Shadow. It's something that you need to work on.
It's fucking weird, dude. Yeah. And his wife's behind the scenes, narrating the chat. It's very nice. It's very sexy.
Narrating the chat?
That's not the wrong word. Commentates. She commentates on the chat room. Right? Is that the right word, John? What's the right word?
Yeah.
Moderates.
She moderates, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Sorry.
Looks like Jim Smith's hanging out already. What's up, Jim Smith?
No.
We're
Damn.
gonna talk to you later.
Hey.
Can't wait to talk to you. And Mars is hanging out.
Nice.
So it's a party. Got lots of people hanging out. So if you guys are looking for something to do on Saturday nights, Rocky, go check out No Man. That's KNOWMAN, like Raven Shadow said, and go ahead and follow him, and he he'll post the link on there. But yeah, it's a good time, and there's a lot of other people doing some awesome stuff out there, and that's why we wanted to get Jim on tonight so we can talk about the compilation, because people are doing stuff for charity, people are just doing stuff to stay busy. I love seeing a lot of like we got to keep ourselves entertained, and I've seen a lot of these I don't know what they'd call them. I assume it has a meme name, but I've seen these videos of like wrestlers or like stuntmen, and basically what they do is they film a quick, short, little like up to 5-second clip, and then they basically put their hand up to the camera like that, and then it basically cuts away to another person, and they continue doing something, and they edit these all together. I don't know if it has a name. I know I'm not sounding too hip, but I saw one today of stuntmen all pretending like they're like one would like do like a kick and kick at the camera, and then it would go to cut to the next person, and then that person would take a bump. They'd basically take the fall from the punch or kick and then do their thing. So it's like a never-ending like 3-minute video of stuntmen continually like hitting each other, and I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty outstanding. But I've seen some others like that. You gonna say something, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, Johnny, we should do that. We should do fucking virtual NC.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. No,
that way we can.
At least us hosts. At least all of us can do one of those or something like that. That would be fun. And you know what? Actually, it'd be fun if we had the listeners involved too.
Oh.
Maybe I can edit something together. I'll have to put aside some time to do a video edit, but maybe I could do a Trick or Treat Radio one.
That'd be dope.
Oh, maybe we should ask someone with a little time on their hands to edit it together. MZ, you're free. Maybe you should edit it.
I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust me to edit either.
I would love to see the finished product of that, though.
No thanks, man. That's a job that's way beyond my skill set.
Well, read a book, dude. Take an online class, dog.
What the fuck? Read a book. Listen to you of all people telling me to read a book. You of all people.
I've seen books. Okay.
I don't think you've gotten any. I don't think you've read anything past the lines on a beer can.
Listen, I love the guy who wrote Pull Tab to Open's fucking dope, man. I'm looking forward to his next one.
Hey, comics count as books.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Wolfie. Who are you? Aries.
Motherfucker.
Wow.
I know what you're wearing when I back you. But God damn it, get my name right.
I know, I got confused. I saw the big beard, man.
Holy.
Oh, shit.
Where's the echo coming from?
That is funny.
It isn't just me, apparently. Are one of you guys watching the show by chance? Like, do you guys have?
I am.
Do you have the audio on?
I am. No,
Okay.
No, I have it on mute.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say,
but I am watching it.
It's definitely an echo.
But let's not try to swerve away from what's going on here. You couldn't even think of Aries' name, and he backed you. Raven Shadow.
It's not controversy to be outrageous because you know how. I saw two of them. I had you fucking in front of me blocking the screen. I saw Aries' big bear. I thought of a werewolf. And then Johnny's last name is Wolfenstein, so I got confused. Mental problems.
The only part of that made sense was you being confused.
Doesn't mean it's not true. Still counts. Thank you, Aries, for supporting me, my friend. Okay.
That'll be the last time.
No, don't do that.
Don't do what?
Don't be mean. Don't hurt my feelings. All right, listen, Aries, do me a favor. Say Red 5 standing by.
No.
Don't
tell him what to do.
Oh, fuck. I was pissed.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Aries.
All right, so I think we're actually going to call an audible. I think we're actually going to get Jim Smith on sooner rather than because he was on now. He's like I can do it now if you guys want. So let me see. Let me see if I
That's
can
cool.
add him in.
Yeah, bring him in for the whole show.
Yeah, fuck it.
Well, the film discussion.
He likes us.
I was going to say the film discussion might not be very interesting for him. So
His fault for not watching.
All right, so I'll get this squared away in just a sec, but let's see what else is going on. I thought there's some other stuff. Oh, just in talking about other people, like for instance, other hosts on Force Insensitive. My buddy Alberto, who is on that show, is streaming a lot on Twitch because he's got a lot of time on his hands. So if you guys are interested in watching someone play games, he's at the Glitchy Bit on Twitch, and Alberto's a good dude, and he's always fun to watch playing games. If you're into that sort of thing, I know Raven Shadow, you don't really get that, do you? Watching people play games.
Channel Twitch? What kind of games? I mean, I guess no. It's like no. But I'm old though. Like I remember like watching someone play games. You're like, I want to fucking play, motherfucker. You know. But that's the thing, though. It's a thing. People do that, and that's cool. You know, find the rings, hit the box, get the
find the
whatever.
rings.
Jesus Christ!
Are you like talking Sonic? Is that what that is? Find the rings?
Yeah, that was a fun game. Remember we used to play Sonic Aries. That was fun.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
For Christ's sake!
So
that's when I was self-teaching in high school.
We got our boy Nicholas, old friend of the show. Nicholas is hanging out watching, and
hey.
and he says this is like old school Trick or Treat radio when MZ would call in. It is.
Yeah, it's a good point. I never thought of that.
And he posted a picture.
Never thought.
He posted a GIF of Stone Cold drinking a beer and said Raven Shadow in quarantine. That's why he forgot Aries' name.
Fair.
And he also posted a GIF of Sonic capturing some rings.
Have any of you guys seen that movie yet? The Sonic movie?
No. Have you?
They're saying it's good. No, I've heard that it's good, though. They're saying that it's good, which I find very hard to believe, but they're saying it's actually entertaining.
Well, why don't you watch it and let us know?
Yeah, watch it and let us know.
Well, I just might do that, wise ass.
That's your work assignment for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Watch Sonic.
Yeah, before next week, you have to watch Sonic. That's your assignment.
Yeah, MZ. Tomorrow at 10:30, I have a team meeting, a virtual team meeting with my remote staff. While I'm doing that, you watch Sonic the fucking Hedgehog film.
All right, I will.
Raven Shadow, how do you do team meetings? Is this an online one or in person?
No. So it'll be some staff in house and the other remote ones. So we're doing it's not Zoom because Zoom isn't safe.
Right.
So there's another one that can be done. So I got some instructions.
Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
You know what you should do is you should get a nice background for that.
I was thinking about it. Well, I do have a vault, so I mean that's kind of cool.
There's Star Wars backgrounds now.
Yeah. There's you can get like a picture image and put it behind you so that so you actually have like you can kind of like a green screen type of deal, you know.
Oh, okay. I think like a real like Aries bring my action figures to work with me.
Rave Show's gonna be setting up an elaborate like a little thing. No.
It's like, in a minute, Luke Skywalker goes here. He's gonna team up.
What's with that voice?
And motherfucker, you set up that whole goddamn table. Don't fucking get on me for putting some things behind me.
That's true. You did.
I'm not
set it up.
getting you talking to me or MZ.
He's talking to you.
What?
No, I'm recognizing you, Aries. I'm saying I like your little background. You look cute. You look nice with
Your
everything. It's
little
cool, man.
background.
You know, I like it. I like it. Don't. No. No. What the fuck? I'm trying to fucking dig myself out of the fucking.
Slow down. You're gonna trip backpedaling that fast.
It's good to see you and hear you. I got you over here. I got your. It's a picture in a picture. I like it.
You got my picture in the. Yeah. You still have that in the table?
Yeah. Oh, fine. All right, you're done.
Yeah. Get rid of it. Ah. Sorry. Sorry. Rich just popped up on my phone. Sorry. MZ just popped up on my phone.
That's not good.
Gigantic. Back it up.
Oh, it's a
Get
hairy
a
ball.
tissue. Yeah.
I appreciate
All right.
his tuck dance costume.
Man,
that was.
good. I was just gonna say that Skype's having all kinds of issues. You guys all had issues with Skype, and Jim's having issues getting his Skype to work. So I think I can. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can share the group with a link. So let me see if I can do this. All right. All right, you guys can talk. Let me get this squared away for Jim, and you guys can.
All right.
So Raven Shadow, what are you drinking? What's going on over there?
Lots. No. Right now I'm drinking Sam Adams. I have. I'm saving my Sam Adams for the show, but I did stock up today. Picked up another 230 racks. So that's nice. A few more packs of butts just in case. But no, we're maintaining a nice level.
2 more packs? That's not stocking up.
Wait, no. 230 packs.
You said 2 packs of butts.
No, 4 packs of butts.
Okay, well, that's still not stocking up. That's 4 days.
Yeah. Not
Probably
in your
less
world.
for you.
It's not stocking.
All right, well, fair. But I also have I still have one more carton on deck, and then a staff member bought me a pack of butts today because she saw I was stressed, and I said, "Well, this will probably help." So I have 15, but I can space it out though. Then I can wait to go to the store like next Monday with my mask on, right, and I'll be ready, good to go. But yeah, but I've been trying to make some headway on some movies. I finally saw John Wick 2. So
finally,
and I watched. Yeah.
Oh.
Because then Corny was busting my balls too. So I finished John Wick 2 and then started part 3. So
you
I'll,
started.
Start what?
yeah,
So in other words, he fell asleep.
I took a nap. Okay, it was on purpose.
He fell asleep.
I pressed
Those things
pause.
on purpose. You put the movie on.
Yeah,
If you're going to fall asleep to a movie, you're going to put on something you've already watched. You're not going to start a new movie and then to fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
normally
Hey,
must be the
Oh.
there
moment.
he is.
There he is.
Oh yeah. Speaking of handsome,
Hey, Jim. I don't know if we can hear Jim.
Uh-oh.
He'll get it.
Is he
figured out.
there?
He's
All right.
he's in the call, which is good. So we can't hear you yet, Jim, but we see your video.
I think I just heard him. No, I didn't. Someone else was talking.
This is we're all kinds of tech issues tonight, but that's fine. We'll get it. You know, just having fun, right? In a time of quarantine, we're just having fun.
Oh,
Let's see. We have Nicholas also says Raven Shadow would turn himself into a potato like that teacher in the Zoom class. Yeah, have you seen that, Raven Shadow?
Oh, yeah.
Someone turned themselves into a potato, and I guess they couldn't turn themselves back, and it was like really kind of embarrassing and funny.
What, like an Expecto Patronum, like a magic spell? Like how do they?
No. On Teams, you can do that. You can like, give you, you can like make yourself look different and stuff like that, and with filters and stuff.
Yeah, I would
You
be
remember
terrible.
how MZ did the pizza and all that when we were talking to him?
Yeah.
Oh, that was scary. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a potato and couldn't turn it off.
Raven taters. Raven Tato. Raven Tato.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there's Jim.
Whoa! Hey!
All right. Technology, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man, how's it going?
Yeah.
Good.
Dig it.
I've been Zooming and Teamsing and Skyping, and it's there's like 800 different ways in. And thanks for sending me this and getting on. How you guys been?
Yeah, of course, man. Let me go ahead and give you the proper intro, since want to go ahead and make sure everyone a lot of people have heard you before on the show, but just in case, we're now joined by our good friend of the show for many, many years now. We had him on way back early in the day. Actually, when we started the podcast, that's kind of when we found out about Jim, because that's about when the Deadites released their EP. And for people who don't remember the story, we kept checking iTunes to see if we could find our album. So we're looking for the Deadites. We kept doing like an iTunes search looking for the Deadites, and all that would pop up is this like Teal, University Heights. We're like, who is this fucking guy? Why is he coming up as the Deadites? And then we looked, and then he had a song called The Deadites. So then we listened to it, and we're like, holy shit, this is good. This is really good. So kind of by accident, we just found out about Jim from Teal, and then listened to the album, and it was fucking amazing. University Heights had just come out. It was still fairly new, and we all loved it. And so at that point in time, we were like putting it, Mars and I, Mars was putting together the show, and we were trying to think of who to play with us. And I was like, well, what, we were like, what about that dude from Teal? Like, let's try to hook up with Teal, because we found out that he was in New Jersey. Reached out to Jim. Sure enough, he was, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. And then we realized we're basically like, brothers from another mother, because we have so much in common, and we've been good friends ever since. So, Jim Smith of the awesome band Teal is now joining us.
It's going to be so cool when we hit like our 10-year anniversary. We got to do something for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're probably coming up on it. It's the show is.
It's
almost,
in like 2 years.
Yeah,
I think it's in like 2 years. So we're getting close.
Yeah, it's crazy, because this show is almost 8 years old. So yeah, we're definitely coming up on 10 years.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for having me, man. I miss you guys.
Yeah, we miss you too, man. And obviously, I know you're doing really well for yourself in San Diego, but it's obviously a lot harder to get together. But things are going well for you out there, right?
Yeah, it's been great. Other than being in quarantine, if I could pick anywhere to be stuck, it's definitely here. The weather's been pretty amazing. As you can see, I'm like super sunburned right now, because I think the sun index was like 9 today. But yeah, it's been great, man. I mean, my wife's out of work. She lost both of her jobs with this. But I'm lucky to be working from home and just putting in more hours, because people are remote, and just kind of slowed down the process. But I'm very fortunate to have a job, so I have nothing to complain about. And that's kind of why I wanted to put this compilation together for tomorrow. So tomorrow, I just wanted to help out some way, and I figure all of our music producer buddies, they all have songs sitting on their hard drive, and everyone's been home writing more music. And I think people are putting more effort into their passion projects right now because they're home. And I was like, hey, why don't we all put together a compilation, and we can donate all the proceeds to something positive. And my buddy Chris is building these face masks for medical workers, and like these plastic shields, and basically taking donations. He's raised over like $8,000 so far, and I think they've made over 2,000 shields. So his crew, lost work, so he's like, let's just make these shields, and basically the donations can pay his staff and everything. So that's the plan. So it's coming out tomorrow. You can go to synthrecords.com, and it'll have a link to the Bandcamp. And yeah, it's over 20 tracks right now. Tiny White's on it, so you guys are
Nice.
represented.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. There's over 20 songs, and they're all really good. Like, this compilation is gonna be amazing. So super proud.
Awesome. When I saw you announce it a few days ago, I'm like, oh man, we gotta get Jim on to talk about it because I want people to hear about this. And you guys are doing it all for charity. So every dollar is that right? Every single 100% of the proceeds are going to charity.
Yeah, it's totally 100% going to them, and just to build more shields. And the cool thing is, he posts up on his GoFundMe, where the shields are being sent to. Some people could request, hey, here's my money. Can you send 10 to this hospital? My wife works there, or so you can request where you want your money to go. And I think that's really great. But yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment idea I just threw out there on Facebook in one of the groups. And so many people, I mean, it was like, it actually got really overwhelming for a minute. I'm like, what did I just do? Because
Yeah.
I had 20 plus people emailing me and like, you're going to do it this Friday. Can I have more time? And I'm like, no, like, we got to put it out there. Like, it's about making money for charity. It's not about us, so I mean, I'm going to be up all night tonight finishing my song. It's not even finished. So,
Oh shit.
yeah. So, nothing like a little pressure to get it done. But honestly, I didn't know what song to release. I had all these different comp versions on my computer. So I reached out to one of my top fans, this guy, Josh Betts. He's always promoting me and in all the groups, and he's just a really, really nice guy. So I hit him up on a Skype and basically was like, can you pick what song you want on the compilation? So I let him pick the song. And now I'm like, I have to finish it.
Yeah.
So a little stressful, but it's great, man. It feels good to do something. I haven't released like a new song with lyrics in a few, I would say 2.5, 3 years now. So it's been a while, and so this little fire will get it going. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And so where can people get it? And is there a suggested sort of donation for it?
Yeah, I mean, you can go to synthrecords.com. I'll have it up there tomorrow morning, and that'll essentially lead you to synthrecords.bandcamp.com. So it'll be on the labels page, and it's pay what you want. So you could get the album for free if you want, and just go right down to the link and donate to the GoFundMe. Or you could donate to the album, and then just weekly, weekly. I'll be sending him, whatever profits come in for it. So it's already gotten a lot of sharing and stuff. I just kind of announced it on Facebook, and I think there's a lot of people like really excited for it. So I'm hoping we raised a lot of money, and it's just a really positive thing,
Yeah, it's really amazing, and I think it's a super cool thing that you're doing. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, it's difficult because there's resources are so hard to come by. So it's very difficult, and it's awesome that you guys are doing this.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on and helping spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people want to go to Synth Records, you can go ahead and find it there and pay what you want. If you want to. Obviously, you probably want to give something because it's for it's for charity. So you guys can give whatever you feel you can afford. I know times are tough for some people, so whatever you can do is more than awesome. So, Jim, what are some of the other bands we can expect to see on the comp?
So that's kind of the surprise here. I don't really want to give anything away.
Oh,
Yeah. I even a lot of the artists, they don't know who's on it. So I'm trying to make it fun for everyone. So I mean, it's like I said, I'm guessing I'm still getting songs tonight. Like, people are like scrambling to finish. So I'm thinking it might be around 25 songs. I'd love to hit 30 tonight, but I don't know if that'll happen. But yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing. I'll just tell you that you're gonna have a big eclectic mix of instrumental electronic music, some synthwave tracks, and from some pretty big names too in that scene. And then you also have some like synth pop and electronica. So it's a big mix. And the idea behind the artwork for it, are the synthesizer waves, where I kind of go from a square wave to a sawtooth down to triangle wave and to a sine wave, and it's kind of showing like flattening the curve. So it kind of is that
Yeah.
the dual meaning of synthesizer waveforms, but also like flattening the curve.
Yeah,
So
no, I
it
dig
was
that.
kind of fun doing the artwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's cool, man. Yeah, it's awesome, and it's I think it's a really cool thing. Hopefully, we can raise a lot of money for this. With you doing this. So once again, people can give whatever they want. If they want to give $100, if they feel it's worth that, then please, by all means, give whatever you can.
yeah, and I mean, even for people that aren't really into music, still check it out if you want to still donate to the healthcare crew. I think it's really, again, for the cause. The music is just kind of the catalyst to get people to donate. So they get something out of it. And plus, a lot of people are home, and music heals. So now you have over an hour's worth of new music, and probably discover a lot of really cool, amazing bands and artists. So.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be so cool, man. I've been playing it pretty much nonstop, just figuring out, how I want to curate the song titles or the song track listing and stuff. So as I get a new one, I'm like, oh, this one will fit great here. There's like a section that's really poppy and fun, and then it gets kind of chill, and then there's some really dark, more guitar metal influence, and then so I'm trying to make it a bit of a journey so people can listen to it start to finish, and it's not too jarring going from like something really chill to like something really dark. So it's gonna be a really, really good thing.
Awesome. And so as Jim had said, he quite doesn't know like who's going to be on it or how many tracks are going to be on it at the end of the day. So, but that's kind of a cool little surprise. I mean, I assume you're probably going to be up all night.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sleeping. I'm thinking my song will probably be done around 2 a.m. I don't know. I probably should release it at midnight, but I mean, I just got off work. I'm doing this with you guys, and then I'm going to go crank in the studio. So I'm like the last one to do it. So it's good that I'm the one uploading all the files.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, it's going good though. Like I already have the album is already over 20 tracks. So as I get a couple more, it's just got to include them, and then we're all ready for live. So it's going to be on Bandcamp. It won't be on Spotify or anywhere else. So you can just get it there. And yeah, we're super excited, man. So thank you guys for letting me promote this, and thanks to Tiny and for sending over a track too, which is really great. So a lot of exciting things coming tomorrow morning.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. That's going to make I have like tomorrow I got to get a lot of work done, so I'm actually looking for something like to get me through, and I can't wait. Like I'm excited to just like pick it up in the morning and just listen to it all day, and
yeah,
that's going to be my soundtrack for the day. So I can't wait.
It's a good repeat album because I mean you have such a wide range of mood and style, but I think it's definitely a great album to work to, and I've had it on nonstop, so I'll probably have it on nonstop for a while because it's just really great.
Nice.
And there's a lot of my favorite artists on there too. So there's just new tracks that I've never heard. So this is kind of cool for me because I'm getting like some exclusive content that no one's ever heard. So I'm like, oh man, this song's amazing. I can't wait for it to come out. So really, really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So everyone out there, you said it's going to be on Bandcamp. That's the place where people are going to be able to get it.
Yep. You can go to synthrecords.com. And I'll have it. It'll be like right the first thing that you see, and that'll drive you to the Bandcamp page. So you could either go to synthrecords.bandcamp.com, or you can just go to synthrecords if that's easier for people.
Cool.
And yeah.
Yeah. So everyone out there, Synth Records. That's probably easy to remember. Go to synthrecords.com, and you can get a link to it when it's available. It's not available yet, obviously, as Jim said. It's still coming together, but it'll be up there.
It's in the oven.
It's in the oven. Yeah. It's cooking on 350 right now.
Yeah. Yep. I just put the pan in, so we got about 3.5 hours.
It's like a turkey, apparently, right?
Yeah. It's like a slow chili.
Yeah. What was that, Aries?
Now, when is Raven Shadow going to be able to buy the CD of this?
thinking that. I'm mad. I go to Walmart, Jim, or strawberries.
You do like a mini disc.
Oh, right.
That's awesome.
You have a single version?
By the way, for anyone watching
That's
live, I was able to get. I have 4 videos going now, so I was able to get everyone. Except MZ, you turn your camera on after I fucking set it up, so you're gonna have to wait, buddy. All right.
Hey.
All right.
Also, we have a really close up of your fucking face, so I don't know if people want to see that. Oh God, no, people don't want to see
Wow.
that. So
Yeah, back it up and squeeze that right on the top of your nose there.
Yeah.
Just give that a pop.
So I don't want to keep you too long, Jim, because I know obviously you got a lot of work ahead of you this evening. So I just wanted to make sure we talked about it. But just what else is going on? Obviously I know you're working on some Teal stuff. Is there anything else you want to update folks on before we let you get back to working on that?
Yeah, I mean, other than this album, I'm still working on the new Teal stuff since I've moved out here. It's going good. It's probably like 80% baked, so still raw in the middle. But yeah, I've been just obviously things change quite a bit around here. But most of the weekends I was out and about and just really learning San Diego and really just enjoying it. So it was like I moved here and I spent less time in the studio because it wasn't raining constantly like in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, it's like it kind of hurt my music a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to sit inside and look at a computer all day, So it's been taking longer to write it, but it's definitely really, it's something fresh feeling. I think it's going to have a new kind of sound for Teal. It'll still sound like Teal, but it just has a little bit of a twist to it now. So that's going to probably come out sometime next year. But same deal. I want to do like a full length album. I don't want to just release singles. So even this song I'm doing tonight probably won't be on the album, but
Yep.
it might make it. I mean, maybe. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you said that so far the stuff that you've been writing it's sort of more of a local vibe to where you're at, right? Would you call this more of like a sort of a California, sort of San Diego vibe to it?
Yeah, this one's definitely very California inspired. A lot of the track titles reference places around here. We're about 10 miles from downtown San Diego, and we actually live right near a lake. So me and my wife go to the lake and we go running, and we're doing like all these new things in our life that we just never did in New Jersey, and getting healthy and just kind of enjoying life more, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's ton of inspiration, but yeah, a lot of the songs reference California and they kind of a more uplifting vibe to it. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
My music's not going to be as sad and somber.
So it sounds like it'll be a great soundtrack for the summer. So when people do get a chance to get it, it'll probably be good for spring, summertime. So yeah, looking forward to it, man. I obviously, just seeing you post little clips and seeing you work on stuff is exciting. So can't wait to hear more when that is available. So
there's probably going to be I'll probably release right after that Teal album. I'll release another one of all these other kind of darker instrumental tracks that I've been doing. They don't quite fit the Teal mold, but they're still really cool, and I might put them out under a different name or something. But I have all these tracks started. Just everything needs to be finished. They always say like that last 10%, is 90% of the effort.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. So a lot of great ideas, a lot of things in the works, but I just need to kind of polish them off and finish them up.
Awesome. Well, yeah, looking forward to that, man. And yeah, I totally understand. I mean, when you move to a new place, you got to kind of get the lay of the land and, get a feel for it. So, and that, because you did, it probably will be able to kind of seep into your music a little bit more. If you just moved there and just hung out in a house, like you wouldn't kind of soak that in,
Yeah, and now actually it's weird because it was a very like positive, uplifting album, but like now it's like quarantine and so maybe the B side of this new album will go really dark.
Yeah, it'll be like night and day,
Yeah, you could just see my mental decline from track to track.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Do you guys have any? Do you guys have any other questions for Jim before we let him go? Because I know I've been doing a lot of the talking. I don't know if you guys have something quick for him so we can let him get back working on this compilation.
You know,
I'm
he's got a
good.
lot of work to do. But I got to say, Jim, it was funny.
Yeah.
I fucking hate fucking hate passwords. You know what I'm saying?
Because he forgets them all the time.
Yeah. So like, I fucking is one of those things where like I'm doing this thing. I'm not gonna say what the thing I was fucking doing, but it was like, your password will expire in 4 days. Do you want to change now? I'm like, fuck no. But it's like, motherfucker, change now. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm trying to do it. I'm doing, characters.
Are you going to tell
uppercase,
everyone
lower-
what your fucking password is? Is that where we're heading?
No, you don't know what it was for, because it's multiple characters. All I'm saying was after like trying multiple things, I'm like, fuck. All I'm saying is that teal made it way into part of the characters, because I'll remember that. So thank you.
There you go.
As long as you remember that there's 3 E's.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, fuck. Is it 4 of them?
Yeah.
How many? I'm not sure.
Well, you know what, too? I think the hub right now has free premium for quarantine, so you probably don't need to log in anymore.
It's true.
I know what you're talking about, Jim.
Oh, shit. All right, Jim. Well, we'll definitely have to catch
Oh
up with
my
you
God.
again soon when things are a little less crazy. But I know you have a compilation to finish right now, so we don't want to take up
That's
too
it.
much more of your time. But if people want to find this, you can find it. So right now we're recording on the 23rd of April. It'll be available on the 24th of April, Friday, April 24th. Go to Synth Records, and you can find it there. And the name of the compilation is Waves of Hope. And it's going to include anywhere from 20 to maybe 30 different tracks, as Jim said. And there's going to be a teal track. There's going to be a tiny white track. That's all we know right now. But go check this out. Pay what you can. If you guys can afford more than the normal cost of an album, please do, because this is all 100% is going towards helping to flattening the curve and also to basically make protective face shields for healthcare and emergency workers and everything. So every single dollar will go to help somebody to combat coronavirus. So please, if you have the money, feel free to help out and support a great cause and support a great dude.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Have fun with the rest of the show, and if you guys are still going at 3-4 in the morning, maybe I'll sign back on.
If we're still going, we got problems, man. But good luck getting that. Good luck getting that out, Jim. And I can't wait to check it out tomorrow. And best of luck with it. And hopefully it does amazingly well, man.
Thanks, guys. Rock on.
All right,
Miss
Jim.
you. Take care.
All right.
Take care, bud.
All right. See you.
Later, buddy. Right.
All right. Why don't we head to a break, and then we'll come back and talk about a movie. What do you guys think?
Sounds great.
Okay. So
Sounds like a good idea.
Raven Shadow. I don't know. We don't need to do all that business. All right.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So we'll be back in just a few moments.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
All right, we're back.
Wow.
That was very sudden. I was trying to get MZ. I was trying to get the video feed for everyone. I think I got it. So took a little bit. So I apologize for the extra long break, but we now have everyone's video feed except for Rave Shadow because he's not there.
Even though it was in a longer break, Raven Shadow's still not back.
I know it was an extra. Like that whole song played out. How long is that song? It's only 3 minutes, but still. All right. Well, we have everyone's video. This is awesome.
Oh my God! I don't know how awesome. I don't know how awesome that is. I'm looking at myself on the TV. I look horrible.
Well, then don't look at yourself.
Yeah, don't look at yourself.
Yeah, I know, right?
See if next week.
You're right.
Next week, if you can use the tablet, that way you can keep it.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold it because that's kind of a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, he is.
Are you holding the phone? Oh God! Find a way to prop it up.
Yeah. Do you have a table or something you can put it on?
I
can turn your phone off. I can turn your camera off in the meantime if you want to mess with it.
All right. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Try that.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, I'm just gonna turn MZ off for now.
Jesus. All right. I'll let you know when I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm getting seasick watching you.
I know. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about a movie. So while he's getting that squared away and Raven Shadow comes back, I'll go ahead and set the movie up. We're going to be talking about a film called The Other Lamb. This film is unrated. It is 97 minutes long. It is a drama horror, and it is directed by, I'm going to butcher this because it's a Polish name, Malgorzata Sumowska, I think is right. And it's written by C.S. McMullen, and it stars Michael Huisman, Rafi Cassidy, Denise Go, Eve Connolly, Kelly Campbell, and Isabel Connolly, among others. The synopsis: a girl born into an all-female cult led by a man in their compound begins to question his teachings and her own reality. So this is IFC Midnight put this one out, and that's how it sort of got on our radar here. And I know that Professor J also enjoyed it, as he mentioned last week. So thought this might be a good one to check out, and we'll be talking about this. So, MZ,
All right, give it a try.
Give it a try. Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got a side view. That's okay. You get your Friday the 13th poster in the background. Yeah, that works. Look at you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Raven Shadow, oh, he's back. Look at that. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa!
We took an extra long break, and you were still not in your seat.
I had to fucking.
I
just
got
check some
medical
stuff out.
problems.
I got medical problems. No, I had to fucking wrench a few things off, and just we're fine.
Jesus.
Always
fine.
excuses with you. Always excuses with you. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah, it's true.
It's always something.
Listen,
It's always something.
He's
with
not
you.
wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Thank
No,
you,
I'm
John.
talking about MZ.
Oh.
Well, just fucking own it. You were smoking.
I was smoking. Yeah. And,
So why are you trying to come up with bullshit excuses?
Yeah.
I'm not bullshit. I'm saying I was smoking, but then I had to fucking just check a few things out, make sure everything was where it needed to be. Got
Like
all.
what?
Your shed?
I'm a shed. No, but downstairs I was gonna check a few things out. Make sure the bar was still there. It was.
The what? The bar?
The bar.
The bar.
The bar. The bar with the bar.
The bar with the bar.
Dang. We're all fine. We had a slight, we're all fine here. How are you?
Jesus.
Fuck.
All right, so I was starting to talk about The Other Lamb. Oh, and Corny says, you think that's bad? This is how I see MZ in my basement, and he posted a picture. And Corny's got a huge screen set up in his basement, so we're sorry, Corny.
We are so sorry, Corny. Yeah.
We're so sorry.
Look, it's genetics. I can't do anything about that.
What, your camera angle? It's genetics?
No, my face is genetics.
Oh, man. All right, so The Other Lamb. So let me pull up my notes here. So as I mentioned, directed by Malgorzata Sumowska, who is, I'm not familiar, but apparently she's a prominent Polish director. And she's won several awards at festivals all over the world for her work, and this is her first English-speaking film. So, cool to see a filmmaker from another country, sort of getting a higher profile shot here. And so, in as we dive into this film, the first thing I'll say is right away, like there is something about this opening shot that I absolutely adored. It just had such great composition. Like, I think if I recall, it was the two girls on either side of the waterfall talking, and then you could see the waterfall like flowing between them, and it was kind of like a low kind of shot, so it was looking up, and I just thought it was a really interesting shot, and just something kind of like immediately when there's a film that starts with like a really interesting shot, it pulls me in immediately. Something about that, and that's sort of what this did for me, was it pulled me in right away. So I will say that the cinematography and the way this was shot, I thought was really quite nice.
Well, the cinematography is really, really good in this film. As far as that opening shot goes, I didn't feel anything about that except knowing that the two characters that were on screen were giving me a sense of uneasiness because of the subject matter that's going to be at hand. You know, the whole idea of the of the content of this film and what it's going to be about, it already fills me with a sense of dread.
Yeah.
Like, because you know that when you're dealing with cults, things are not going to end well at all. So no matter how, and I'm not saying that that's how it's going to happen here. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not going to say. But given that, no matter how, for lack of a better term, majestic or beautiful an opening scene shows you at the beginning of a film, you always know there's going to be some underlying danger, tension, stress that's going to be underneath it. And I catch on to that shit right away. So for me, that's very hard to ignore.
And I know that you're a connoisseur, if you will, of cult movies, right? Religious cult movies, that is.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I know that you were already probably a little interested in this to begin with, just based on the content of it.
Oh, sure. Whether it's religion or just fanatical cults, that have nothing to do with religion, really, but with brainwashing. Yeah, I have a high interest in that. Films that we've reviewed here. Of course, like Midsummer, The Wicker Man. Let's see, Guyana. There's a film called Guyana.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever seen it. It's very good. It's all about Jonestown.
Okay. We also did. We did that one, The Sacrament, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, The Sacrament as well. Yep. Which is basically a ripoff of Guyana. Those always never end well. So whether it does here or not, you have to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
But I have a high interest in this kind of thing.
So obviously we won't get too deep into spoilers with this, but so I think that there was I thought there was a great setting. There was something, I hate to kind of compare it to this, but there was something that was reminiscent of The Village. You guys, M. Night, and mostly because it was in sort of like a timeless movie. You didn't know when it took place necessarily, right?
No, but you, especially at first, Johnny, the shot you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think early on, you kind of see some tells where you're like, what's kind of going on here?
Yeah, as we go through, definitely. But sort of in the beginning, you don't know. I mean, this could have taken place in the 1800s for all we knew, from
right.
Obviously, well, okay, maybe not, because they did have a fucking, what are those, an RV, right? Didn't they have an RV? So maybe not 1800s.
Well, they had the RV, and then they showed a Barbie doll. So at the very least, you were looking at the 1960s.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point right there. So but it is sort of one of those things where you just don't know. Aside from those telltale things, it's interesting. And as the movie moves on, like we do see some things that involve like a civilization, and it's like, okay, well, wow, that's kind of jarring. I would say 30 minutes in, we see our first car, and when that happened, I was like, oh wow, it's just jarring because it sets this tone. And it feels like it's in another, like an old world,
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and so Michael, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Michiel. I don't know if it's pronounced differently, but anyways, I'm going to call him Michael for now because that's I don't know how it else is pronounced. He's from the Netherlands, so I don't know, but he. I don't know if Raven Shadow did any of you guys watch Game of Thrones all the way through? Raven Shadow, you only got to like the Red Wedding, you said, right?
I'm still the Red Wedding. Yeah, yeah.
Aries, did you ever
Also
watch
with
it?
I have never watched it. No.
Okay, and I know MZ hasn't, but he played Dario Naharis. He originally was played by Ed Skeen, who later went on to, he basically left the role to go do films, and he's become a fairly well-known actor, I guess you could say. Trying to think, Ed Skeen. I'm sorry, not Skeen. Screen, but he was in Deadpool. He played Ajax.
What is the letter for the Medicaid?
That was good.
Give her the finger.
You can
Hold on.
MZ,
I'll be back.
You can mute. You can mute the Skype call if you need.
Yeah,
to.
no.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
All right. He's gonna go kill a spider or something.
Clean your room. You could podcast after you finish your squash. What did I tell you?
You got to do the dishes, then you can podcast.
Yeah. Who's a good boy?
But I want my dessert now. All right, let's see. He's coming back. So Ed Skeen, he also played Ajax in Deadpool. He's been in a bunch of shit. Let's see what else. I just remember seeing him in a bunch of movies. Oh, he was in that movie Kill Your Friends, which I think Corny recently watched. But he's been in a pretty good amount of movies since then. So yeah, I think it probably was not a bad move for him to leave that role of Dario Naharis. And so, anyways, it was taken over by this actor Michael Huisman, and so he plays the cult leader in a very reminiscent of Charles Manson kind of look. Would you say, MZ?
Maybe not as. Well, no. I would say he's about as close as you could. I would say he's the closest to. I can't think of any others.
I'd say no. I'd say David Koresh without the glasses.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Koresh. Yeah, because Koresh was all about. Pretty much the same thing as what this guy did. You're right. Aries made a good call there.
Actually, who is that? Who is the big cult leader? Who's really famous? A lot of statues. Oh yeah, Jesus. There was nothing. He was the shepherd. Like, I mean, I get. I mean, he was fucking Jesus, right? I mean, and never trust a long-haired white guy who fucking thinks he's the fucking Messiah. I'm telling you. Guys,
you look in the mirror lately?
Yeah. Here's the funny thing is that the shepherd looks just like Raven Shadow.
See, in my head, I'm the shepherd until I walk by a mirror, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm not that dude.
You didn't, Raven, hey, you didn't think we were actually going to skip that part, did you?
Because he's handsome.
But okay, I mean, yes, that's also a good point. Definitely, there's some Jesus vibes, right? The Jesus.
Oh yeah.
The Jeebus vibes.
The Jeebus.
So, but yeah, this, and as we get further along, it becomes a little bit more apparent. But there's really kind of some interesting stuff going on in this, and one of the things I thought was interesting was, at least early on in the film, it seemed like they shot a lot from behind the actors' heads, especially early on. I mean, I don't know if there's anything to that. I mean, I'm not, because I didn't seem to notice it after the first little bit, but I felt, I realized that they were doing that a pretty good amount. Like they were at the dinner table, and they were kind of going behind the actors' heads, and so it in a sense, it almost made you feel like you were there. Like I got that feeling of like kind of like you were point of view, like in this cult, trying to sort of be like an active participant in what's going on. That's sort of how I took it. But
like you were a follower.
Yeah,
like you were, especially when you were walking too.
Look at you.
I mean, there was a certain.
Rape Shell's got his big boy pants on today.
I watched the movie.
He's got to get his comments in now while he's still relevant before he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I fucking forget.
How many times did you fall asleep?
Listen, it doesn't matter when I finish the movie, okay? Doesn't happen.
Wow.
That's fine.
And one of the other things I really dug about this was just some of the setting and some of the set dressing, really subtle things. So they did move around in, because they basically had to abandon their home at one point. But prior to that, like, there were some interesting things. Like, there was almost like these spider web type things in the ceilings.
Yeah.
And also out in the
I
forest.
couldn't have. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't figure that out.
Well, my thought, I mean, this is just my thought. I don't know, but it was almost like they were caught in a web. Like they were caught in his web. That's sort of just how I took it, but I don't know that there's any other analogies about him being a spider or anything like that. Like,
I don't know. If he sees himself as a shepherd, if he sees himself as a Messiah, if he sees himself as their personal God, I don't think he would take it too kindly to be referenced as a spider by having what could be pertained to as a web being above them. I don't know. I thought that too at first.
Yeah, and I'm not.
I thought that too at first.
I'm not alluding to him being a spider, but just that they were caught in his web. That's all.
Symbolism.
But maybe not. But maybe it was just kind of a different sort of take on just giving the forest a little bit more interest and a little something going on, because I thought it looked cool. And even that when they'd have their sort of like gatherings, I really I thought the white dresses were sort of a stark contrast to the forest. And then they had that sort of netting, that white netting around it that made it look like almost like a holy place or something like that. The way they did it, I don't know, but I thought it was really kind of interesting. I thought that looked cool. So
this is of color. I mean, it was important. I mean, even down to the color indicating your rank.
Or
your stat.
Right, and it could be that the white was just kind of like purity. Like maybe that was kind of a part of it as well.
Neutral.
Evil Corny says he was definitely rocking the Jesus thing to me. So Corny definitely got that vibe. He got the Jesus vibes.
Yeah, I mean, not fucking Totoro, the other fucking Jesus, but I mean, yeah. I mean.
My neighbor Totoro.
Well, I mean, any skinny white guy, long hair and a beard is Jesus. That's just how it goes.
There you go, Raven Shadow.
Thank you, but no, he was fucking. He had some Roman abs. I'll tell you that much.
Our boy D.
But this whole brain. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to comment. Our boy D. Rook says this is a great setup, even better than the Knights of the Round Table thing. Bomba fucking Leo. He said, "Look at these beautiful bastards." Oh shit. Oh man, I miss Derek. We're gonna get him in studio when this fucking thing ends, Raven Shadow.
Fucking hey, I want to get him fucking in studio fucking Saturday. Come on,
Saturday.
Come on, Russ. You fucking scared of no fucking virus. Hang out with me.
What the fuck is going on Saturday?
We're gonna watch fucking Rocky. You come over too. Wear a mask.
What studio then? You're just gonna come into your basement.
Well, fine. Basement, whichever comes first. The bar.
The bar.
The bar.
Oh man!
You
All
were
right.
the Batman.
MZ, were you going to say something? I cut you off.
No, it's just the whole Jesus aspect, their own personal God, and the brainwashing that this man puts upon these women and his daughters. It's just crazy to think that this kind of shit goes on in actual life. It's just.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind how things like this continue to happen.
Well, this is
not really a critique of the movie, but just my own personal take on the whole idea of cults.
I liked so obviously our main character is Sella, who is portrayed by Raffi Cassidy, and I like the way that they focused on her. Like there was this just sort of like the way she was shot. She didn't have to say anything, but you could tell what she was. You could tell what was going on in her head. Like you could tell she was questioning Shepard's sort of motives, his just everything about him. Like even just the shots. Like there was this great shot where I think she was laying down, and it was like this focus pull where the camera kind of pulls away, and then the focus sort of zooms out as well. Just this really awesome shot, and it had a very cool backdrop, and it just made it almost feel like that was like this sort of like big moment. And I think the camera work really did a great job to highlight the sort of strife in Sella, like of what she's going through, of experiencing this cult and what she thinks of Shepard, and you could tell that she questioned it. And also just in her conversations with Sarah, played by Denise Go. Speaking of which, Denise Go, people might not recognize her name or films that she's been in, but there will be a lot of people who recognize her voice because she voiced Yennefer in The Witcher 3, which is obviously a huge video game, and people who played The Witcher 3 would know her from that. She's one of the big characters in that. So, but I thought her role was also integral and very awesome in this as well. And she was the one that lived out in the shed, basically, like the outcast from everyone else.
The blonde?
Yeah.
Oh, the blonde.
Yeah. The one that was outcast from everyone else. So it was just kind of interesting how Sella's, how she was questioning things and sort of some of the insight that she was getting from others. And you could tell that she was really conflicted about what to think about all this, And we also got some flashbacks and also some visions as well that really kind of muddied the waters for her. So I thought her arc was pretty cool in this. And the other thing I thought was fucked up is that, so the Shepherd, he is the only male in this cult. He's the cult leader, and he's the only male. And he's the only one able to tell stories. And I thought that was like, that spoke volumes, because he's controlling every aspect of them, including none of them are able to tell stories, Like, that's kind of fucked up,
Well,
yeah, he controls their real life, and he also controls their fantasy life.
Yeah,
he has
absolute and total control over these girls, and it's fucked up the way. Not just in that aspect, but in other regards as well. It just gets more and more fucked up as the movie continues.
What were you gonna say, Raymond Shadow?
Well, he's controlling the narrative.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like he's the meat. He's the newspaper. He's their only source, and that's huge. That's why I liked, just take it back a little bit, the scene with Sella and Shed Girl, how their interaction changes what she's thinking, what Sella's thinking. Granted, she's a child. I'm not sure how old the actress is, but I would assume the character is no more than 15 or 16, probably.
And probably even younger, based on other things that happened, right? My guess was like 13.
Well, Sella, the actress who played Sella was about 16 or 17 at the time of the release of this movie.
Yeah,
which is this year, right?
But of the things that like some of the things that happened where they said she was impure, like. To me, I don't know if that was like the first time that happened or not, but yeah, my guess is 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. And
the character was young.
Well, it's the first time she was caught.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we don't know if it was the first time that that she had her period, or if she just happened to have it. Whatever, we don't know. But, like going back a little bit, there was like one creepy thing that he said. Shepard said when he was addressing them all at the table. He said wives, daughters, and like so that, like everyone there was connected to him in some way. He's basically like he controls them. He does whatever he wants. He impregnates them whenever he wants and makes more children. And just this sort of like ecosystem of how they're like this kind of cycle that he's created is fucked up, right? Like, without getting too deep into spoilers, it's kind of a fucked up cycle that he creates.
Which, on one hand, it's gonna be way more fucking trouble than it's worth, right? Like, why the fuck? Like, really, asshole?
Well, I guess if you're a cult leader, like, you do what you got to do to keep things going, like
keep it fresh.
Yeah, I mean, and so there is certainly some real world sort of parallels here. This is it's not too thinly veiled at all, but this is definitely a sort of a film that speaks about the patriarchy in society. The shepherd was essentially and I'm not saying all men. So Raven Shadow, I know you don't like generalizations. I'm not saying all men, but he is the sort of stereotypical sort of patriarchal figure. This is, men have always sort of wanted to push women down and to make them feel less, and also to control them. And also the other thing that I thought was really telling was the wives, the older women, basically were telling the younger women, like, yeah, like, he doesn't, like, they were jealous of the way that the shepherd looked at them, because he didn't look at the older women the same way. And that's something, as a society, like, if you guys see, a lot of older actresses have trouble getting work, right? Like, if we're using that as an example, there's a lot of older actresses, because once an actress or a woman gets past a certain age, they are deemed disposable by some people,
Right.
Well, that's the way it was about 100 years ago. 100, even 75 years ago.
It's unfortunate. It's still that way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's loosened over time, but it's not complete, But back in the day, 100 years ago, 75 years ago, if you were, and it was worse back then, if you were over the age of 30, you were pretty much not worthy of being on screen at all anymore.
Yeah.
You were deemed,
too old,
replaceable.
So 100 years ago, if you were over 30, you couldn't be on film? I think, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
100 years ago. What?
Well,
what was
that was still
ago?
before talkies, but but still.
That's when news was still.
No, it's true. It's true though, and I mean, and the women in this cult are aware of it, because there's that one scene where when they're out looking for their new place of residence.
Yeah.
One of the younger girls said to one of the older girls, "He doesn't like you anymore because you're old."
Yeah.
And she didn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we definitely see the divide here between the younger, and they're sort of getting, like, the shine, if you will. I don't know what you want to call it, but, like, as was referenced by Sarah, what'd you call her, Raven Shadow, the one who lived in the shack girl?
Shed girl, yeah.
Shed girl, okay, yeah. But when you were mentioning her, like, she sort of talked a little bit about that, of about sort of their life cycle, in a sense, and and saying this will happen to you, when she was talking to Sella. So it's I mean, it's just through the mind of a cult leader. I mean, this is just one specific instance of this, and we don't, obviously, there's not a lot of cults out there like that, because they can't really last, but we hear stories of things like you're talking about, like Heaven's Gate, like David Koresh, like Jonestown, so, I mean, there's stories of them out there, and somehow, and also there was Raven Shadow. What was that girl from Smallville?
Oh, Smallville.
Yeah.
She was Chloe, Allison Mack.
Yeah.
With the NXVM cult. It's something. Yeah, it was a very weird thing. It was a very Canadian-based thing, where that fucking dude got involved, and I've been listening to tunes as much, looking into it as much as I can, but it was very weird. Like, what's the fucking Mission Impossible? fucking Tom Cruise thing. It's like a weird like sex fucking Scientology type thing. Where, like Allison Mack tried to get other recruits from Smallville on it. Like she even asked like, Rosenbaum. And he's like, no, I don't know, it's not my thing. And
He's
the
like,
dude who
I
played,
got a podcast to do.
oh, it's fucking so good. Even the dude who played young General Zod in that was kind of like talked to about it. He got out, and all I can think of is that they may have gotten something on her, whether maybe it was a video or something. But yeah, she really went all in with that, and even tried to recruit the chick that played Lana on. It was a very weird, pretty Canadian actor sex cult, where girls would recruit other girls, and there'd be branding and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
anyway,
that was fairly recent.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
So that's
and
just
it was so funny.
Good.
No, they even like in a few times, like even Rosenbaum and Welling talked about it. Like, well, we don't fucking know. We work together. It'd be like saying like, I know my coworker. His person's great. I don't know what he fucking does on the weekends. I'm not this fucking biographer. But it's very weird. Fucking cults. It's always gonna involve fucking sex and fucking young people. Fucking assholes. Fucking knock it off. Knock it off, cult leaders. Stop.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of examples of there. I mean, obviously it's not something that happens often, but I think this is a great sort of setup and setting to tell this story specifically that they're telling. And it is one of, and pardon me, Raven Shadow, I will say that this is, I'm not going to say it's the same as Get Out as important, but I think that there is a message here, and it really kind of conveys what it's like to be a woman, to live in the world. I mean, obviously I don't know, but I can gather that like this is sort of similar. Like women get overlooked. There's always the new woman who comes in who is now like and whether it be in acting, whether it be in just at work or whatever, like it's society has sort of like a patriarchal society has made a lot of men think a certain way. I think we're breaking that now, and I think a lot of us are. I mean, just us alone, like we've grown a lot in just in the almost 8 years that we've been doing the show. And I'm not going to say we were sexist, but we said things that were insensitive in the past. See CryptoCast, if anyone remembers those. There's things we wouldn't say now because we're smarter and we're more intelligent, and we just have been we know better. I guess is the way to say it. And I think that's an important thing, and this kind of shows just what it's kind of like. I think at least for a small glimpse of what it must be like to move through the world as a woman, and always having the male gaze on you, and always having to sort of do what men want. That's sort of like, especially in the past, it's not quite as bad, but there are times when it can be bad nowadays. So I think in that sense, I think it's important to highlight.
No, agreed. And I'm not even going to pretend to. I barely know what it's like to be a fucking 40-something white male, let alone anything else. But and maybe that the fact that, say, even my job, the leadership group is actually probably 70 to 80% female. I've always had like female bosses. I've always, that's something that I'm very used to. My mother and grandmother have always been the leaders of the family. Mm-hmm. So it's something that is not unusual to me. The fact that like Charlize Theron, who's like still amazing, is now getting roles to play the mom. She's like, fuck you, I'm being fucking Atomic Blonde, motherfucker. I'm doing my own fucking stunts. Like,
or
fuck you.
Furiosa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It is kind of shitty that is a thing,
And I'll just say this, fucking, as in my 40s, I think there's nothing hotter and sexier than a woman in her fucking 40s, man. I'm telling you, fucking nothing fucking excites me more than that.
Well, you're also in your 40s, so that's good.
That's right. That's good. Yeah. No, I think I love it. So fuck the fucking shepherd. He's a fucking douche.
I can't wait to see how that shows up on the captions on Facebook.
Between the accent and the fucking words I use, I'm fascinated. It'll fucking break the fucking subtitles.
I think it skipped them all together. Oh, it puts question marks. It's question mark the question mark. He's a question mark douche.
How apropos.
That's amazing.
How apropos.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I think that it is interesting to watch this, and I thought that it was pretty. The way not a lot happens, right? I mean, there's for a film that's considered a horror film, and I will consider this a horror film. I'm not going to say it's not, because of the, once again, this is from the perspective of a woman. This is scary, So this is a real life fucking horror. But for a horror film, there's not a lot of gore. There's not a lot of the typical trappings you'd see in a horror film. But I think other than that, I think that there was some good character development, some good dread that was built at times. And we did get some animal violence, which I'm never a big fan of. But, it in this, it sort of was relevant and kind of made sense,
Yeah, you know what? You're right. At first I wasn't too keen on how this movie was flowing along. I mean, the pacing was okay, but there were just a lot of times where I felt like there was nothing going on. And I think that has to be deliberate.
Yeah.
Because if it was one quote unquote horror scene after another from the time that we first meet them in the waterfall to the time where they finally make to the end of their journey. If it was one horror scene after another, it wouldn't be taken seriously. It wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be genuine.
Yeah.
It would fall into an area of cheese. And I think the director was very wise to make sure that the pacing of this film was slow, and you had to have the tension build up. And this was a very, very slow burn film, but the tension does ratchet up as the scenes continue.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the shepherd. It's the things that it's not just the shepherd, personally of what he's doing, but it's also the things of what he's done in the past that's starting to build up on these girls. And that's when the tension really starts ratcheting up.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And that was the thing I think I really enjoyed about how they filmed Sella. A lot of her interaction is her just sort of like having these, without dialogue, like emotional moments where she's kind of processing what's happening. And then you kind of see it building up as it goes. And then she has some visions later on that are like, okay, shit's probably going to get real here, And I think the interesting thing is obviously the name of the film, The Other Lamb. There is sort of a parallel there, especially with him being the ram, as was mentioned, being the only male. Even so far as there was a child born later on, and that child was said to be imperfect or something like that, and that's when Sarah decided to sort of do her own thing because. And leading up to that, I thought that the conversations that Sella had with Sarah were pretty interesting because Sarah stays, even though she's been outcast, she doesn't know any better. She's lost her identity. Her identity is with the shepherd. Even though she's been outcast, she doesn't know any different. And she says that, she doesn't know any better. She forgot who she was, basically. because she's been gaslit and been a follower for so long that she doesn't even realize who she is anymore.
Mm.
So
Yeah, well, also, I think, I was just going to say, when you were talking about the baby, there's a very, the shepherd claimed the baby to be imperfect. Well, there's one very good reason why he found the baby to be imperfect. Now, I'm not going to say it here because that's a bit of a spoiler, but
I think I
if you
kind of
listen,
gave it away. But yeah, you could tiptoe. Yeah, you can tiptoe around it.
Yeah, but well, if nobody else caught it, I don't want to say it. So,
yeah,
but there's a reason why he found the baby to be imperfect, and it also kind of lends to the answer of, why,
yeah.
How should I put it? This is a very difficult way to phrase it, because it's like, if I say it, even if I even slightly mention it, it's going to ruin it.
Yeah.
Not that it's a big plot. Well, actually, it is kind of a big plot point when you think about it.
Yeah. You don't say it.
Yeah, but it has to do with the baby, and it's
so
that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I don't want to say.
So yeah, I think it was interesting just seeing sort of like Sarah's reaction and how she sort of deals with things and how that influences Sella. I think that there was some good stuff going on there. So there's not a ton more we can say without getting into spoiler territory. Aries, do you just want to wait for the verdict to tell your thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna unleash the Kraken, I think.
Oh, man, have him go first. Take a drink.
That's pretty much. I think that's pretty much what I think this film has a lot to say. Whether or not it's framed in a way that will engage with you, I think that's probably the question mark, because I could see this being pretty boring for some people, and that's okay. Not every movie is going to grab everyone, but I think that there is enough interesting stuff here and enough of a message that I think it should resonate with some people. So I guess we will head to the verdict on this one, and we can get everyone's thoughts.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or treat. Any final thoughts we may have? Let's start with Monster Zero.
Okay, well, like I said, at first I wasn't too sure what to think about the pacing of this movie. I thought, I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, when is something going to happen? Then I realized this is very deliberately done. And it's very well done. I think the pacing of this film is... It can be grating on some people, and it was grating on me. But after I watched it and I thought about what I saw, I'm like, you know what? This was actually really quite good. It took me a while to think about how I was going to rate this film. I think the performances are fantastic. I think the locations are great. The dream sequences, or not really hallucinations, but I guess dream sequences, are very well done. It looks like they used a lot of natural light in this movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it looked very, very natural. It looked particularly the scene that, and I thought it was a great scene, where the flock and the shepherd are trekking through the mud. In this giant field, and they're just tracking through the mud, just trying to get to their destination. Looked very natural. I thought the girls looked great. As far as looking the part goes, the dude who played the shepherd, I thought he was a legit asshole. You know, he played it. He played it very well. He played it soothing when he had to, and he played it rough when he had to, and he was convincing in both areas. I do like this movie. I did like this movie. It just tells you about what the hell goes on in cults, and outside of a documentary, this is pretty straightforward as far as what the hell goes on in cults. It's kind of frightening, and so I wouldn't recommend going to a cult, but I do recommend this movie. This is, I'm going to say this is a high treat. I really did enjoy this.
All right, there you go. Raven Shadow.
I do think this was a beautifully shot film. I think that's something we can all agree on, without doing the bit. It was a very cinematically, right, well done.
Yep.
So big ups yourself.
Big ups yourself.
Big ups yourself. First time American. Everyone spoke English very well. Okay.
Jesus.
The first time English. No, I'm having fun.
Unlike you.
She's fair. That's true. And I'm sure the director's not listening. But I don't like cult fucking,
You
movies.
don't like cult fucking.
No, I mean, like cult movies, like if you check out Survival of the Film Freaks, like those kind of cult movies. I saw it once and it's very good. But I don't like those fucking dudes, man. I don't. Assholes, all right? If you're a cult leader that listens, unless you're on Patreon, go fuck yourself, okay? But with that said...
So a cult leader who supports us on Patreon's okay?
What tier?
Gotcha. All right, fair enough.
Then maybe pass the Kool-Aid over here, brother. But, yeah, man. I mean, overall... I did like the main character. There were some scenes I really enjoyed. There's a particular moment on the beach where I marked out really hard for.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah. But once again, it was a long hour and 37 minutes, man. Because it took a long way to go. I gotta say, performances were great. It conveyed what it had to tell. What are you doing?
MZ's making faces at you.
Wow, that's a funny face. I miss you so much. I just wasn't overall engaged, man. It did things well. This wasn't a film for me. So I would say it's barely a trick. Check it out if you like cult fucking shit.
If you like cult cinema, check it out.
Not that kind of cult cinema. If you like, fucking, Jim Jones and the fucking Kool-Aid Man.
Jones and the Kool-Aid Man.
Jumps through, yeah.
He should have his own cult. Capri Sun.
You just got to drink him.
Yeah, drink me. Drink what? Religion's fucking weird, man. Don't fucking be yourself. Do the best you can. Listen to Queensryche. Just trying to do the best I can.
Nice Queensryche reference. So I'm sorry, you gave it
what I gave
almost a treat.
Barely a trick because
Barely
it's not a cult film for me, but it might be the cult film for you.
All right.
She got the cult. Fire Woman.
Fire Woman. Yeah, there you go. All right, Aries.
All right, let me start off by saying my phone's about to die, so if I just cut out randomly,
Okay.
I apologize. I tried to go and find a fucking power source, but I failed in my own house.
Okay.
So,
we'll have a problem to solve for next week.
bring power source with me to the basement. This movie was shot beautifully. Like, visually, it is a fantastic movie. Some of the angles, some of the set pieces, it was a beautiful movie. The story, was there a story? I didn't get it. It's a fucking cult, okay? Like, You know what? I've seen a cult. I get it. I understand it. Tell me something new. Like, this movie didn't do anything. It was visually beautiful, but there was nothing for the story. And even any of the tension that it built up, it just kind of fucking it glossed over it. The climax of the movie happened off screen. I don't know. There was nothing to this movie. Like I said, it was beautifully shot, but the story was very lacking. This movie probably should have been a 2-hour movie and added something more to the finale of this movie, where it was just built up to nothing. Because it didn't. It should have built up to something, but it built up and then the movie was over. So, in my opinion, this movie is a trick.
All right. So for me, I am going to go with a treat. I think this is definitely a slow-moving film, but I think it does have a powerful message, and that's sort of what kept me engaged. The way this was filmed, if this was a lesser director, I feel that this might have not have hit as well for me, because it's a very delicate balance, and I think that because it was shot so well and a lot of emotion was conveyed through the shots, I feel that it definitely depends on your engagement with the film. So not a lot happens, and there wasn't much in a traditional sense of horror. But make no mistake, I think this is a horror film for most women who watch this. And so for me, my definition is this is definitely considered a horror film, because if somebody would watch this and say, "Holy shit, this is fucking scary," then I think that says a lot. So yeah, I mean, as everyone said, this was beautifully shot and was well paced and well made, and I really have no complaints. I mean, aside from this is a slow moving film, but there's no way. I mean, I don't want to see more action in this necessarily, because I don't think it would have warranted it. I think that this was, and I also feel, and I know, Aries, you said sort of like the climax was off screen, and yes, it was a little disappointing, but I think we can probably imagine what happened, and I think that's almost more powerful, in a sense, because we're imagining what had happened. We saw the outcome, but we didn't see what happened. So I think in that sense, I think it is powerful. And once again, I can understand if someone was like, "Oh, I was kind of let down. I wanted to see more." Totally get that. But this worked for me. It's not going to work for everybody, and some people might. If you view this as a straight up horror film, you're going to be disappointed, because it's not a straight up, like the trappings of a typical horror movie. There is some animal violence, so for anyone with, if that's a trigger, this to me seemed. It didn't seem realistic enough to really be like, oh, that's kind of like freak me out. Because I don't like animal violence, but I think that this was sort of like a little bit acceptable as far as animal violence goes, because it was relevant to the story. So a treat for me. This is definitely going to be, people are going to be on the fence about this one, I think, and as is with us. 2 of us liked it, 2 of us didn't. Even Raven Shadow said barely a trick, but still, we got 2 tricks, 2 treats. So, there you go. That's kind of cut down straight down the middle for us. So if you guys are interested, check out The Other Lamb. It's available on VOD from IFC Midnight, and I'll definitely be interested in checking out more of the director's work, maybe some of her previous work, and also some of her upcoming work, because I think that she's a really talented director. All right, well, that is going to do it for our discussion of this week's film, The Other Lamb. Now, next week, we just did an English-speaking film from a Polish director, and next week we're going to be doing a film from Russia. Now, I've seen this pop up a little bit in some people's, this is beginning a pretty good amount of buzz on festivals and sort of indie stuff. This is a film that is getting a release from Arrow Video, actually, MZ. Arrow's putting this one out.
Yes.
So let me just pull up some information here about it. It's directed by Kirill Sokolov, and the name of the film is Why Don't You Just Die? And so it's apparently a brutal action comedy, and it's going to be hitting VOD. It just hit VOD actually on April 20th. So at the time of this recording, it is available out there. It's available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, blah, 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 wherever you get your stuff. Some of the quotes here: a splatterpunk action comedy, gleefully dark, from Hollywood Reporter, and a smartly constructed and blisteringly paced bit of chaos from Screen Anarchy. So seems like this one could be pretty interesting. And, obviously, I think we've only seen one film from Russia. Was that Guardians, that superhero movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested in checking out some more about this. So looking forward to checking this out. It is available on VOD, as I mentioned. So if you guys want to play along at home, Why Don't You Just Die? And there's an exclamation point at the end, not a question mark. And it was written and directed by Kirill Sokolov. And I'm not even going to... I'll have to work on my Russian pronunciation for next week. I'm not even going to attempt the actors' names yet. You might have to brush up, MZ, and help me.
I got lots of time on my hands.
Exactly. Learn Russian in next week. The synopsis, just for anyone who's curious: Andre, a detective and the world's most horrible father, brings together a terrible group of people in his apartment. His resentful actress daughter, an angry thug, and a cheated cop. Each one of them has a reason to want revenge. So, and Evil Corny says, I was about to watch that film last night. I posted the trailer on From the Canopy yesterday. Cool. There you go, Corny. We're going to check it out. So if you do want to leave some thoughts, Corny or anyone else, feel free to send a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And looking forward to checking this one out. So we'll do Why Don't You Just Die next week. All right. Well, we're going to kind of wind things down here. We don't actually have any voice messages this week. And Aries is about to die over there. Literally about to die.
I think I got 9%.
Oh, no. All right. We'll make it through. We'll be able to say our goodbyes and everything.
Yeah.
But I just want to remind folks out there that about the compilation we spoke with Jim about earlier. It's going to be hitting Bandcamp on Friday, April 24th. And as Jim mentioned, there's going to be a Teal song. There's going to be a Tiny White song. I don't know if it's a song we've heard before from Tiny White. Could be a brand new thing. I'm not sure. And the name of the compilation is Waves of Hope, and it'll be available on synthrecords.com, or you can just go to the Bandcamp. Or if you follow Jim and or Teal on social media, I'm sure it'll be put out there as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. And once again, you can pay what you want, and 100% of the proceeds are donated to the fund. To fund the creation of protective face shields for healthcare and emergency workers. So, if you guys have some extra money to spare, I mean, he did say you can get it for free, but a lot of work went into this, and Jim, obviously wants to donate all the money. So, if you guys have some extra money, just toss it his way. Give whatever you want. If you have extra money kicking around from your stimulus check, you can obviously go ahead and leave as much as you want. So, and it'll go to a good cause. So check that out tomorrow. That'll be available on synthrecords.com. Waves of Hope. So looking forward to that. I'm going to buy that first thing in the morning before work and listen to it while I work. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we wanted to discuss this week. I thought this. I will mention real quick, because since we didn't mention it earlier, but we did post. I mentioned it last week, but we posted up a new Patreon exclusive episode. It was me and MZ hosting a panel with Cassandra Peterson, otherwise known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. So that was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't listened to that yet, go check out us on Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. It was a lot of fun hosting that, and obviously it was great to be able to speak with Cassandra, and she's pretty fucking pretty great interview, MZ, wouldn't you say?
I would agree. She was a lot of fun to be with.
Yep, for sure. So check that out, and that is available on Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And if you get into the $5 tier or higher, you can check that out. And we got a bunch of other stuff on there. We have 9 exclusive episodes, stuff that we've never released anywhere else before and probably never will. So that's your only place to get it. and you can check that out. And we also have some film commentaries. I hope we get to do those again sometime soon, but it's probably going to require us all in the same place at the same time to be able to do them. One other thing I had someone sent us a tweet earlier this week. Let me pull that up real quick. It was pretty interesting, so I just want to read it, and we may do something along these lines if we're able to make it work. But it was actually Dave G. Dave used to pop into YouTube every now and then, and check out the show. I think he might watch it after it airs. But he said on Twitter, Twitch is allowing Twitch affiliates to stream Amazon Prime video content as viewing parties for viewers on Twitch. If you are not a Twitch affiliate, then all Twitch accounts will be allowed to stream Amazon Prime content on Twitch without copyright claim. So the interesting thing about this is we might be able to do some Twitch specials where we can go ahead and do like a watch party, where we sync it up. Everyone can watch along with us. And and then we just watch, I don't know, it have to be something that's on Prime. So maybe we could try to find a way to figure out how to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun to do, like a watch party. Maybe there's some movies or some TV shows or something like that. So I can't guarantee anything just because there may be some technical issues associated with it. But I'm going to at least investigate it and see if it's something that we might be able to do. Because I think that would be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool.
Well, you know what? If any of our Patreon listeners have any ideas of what they want to hear from us, let us know. Yep. And if we can make it happen, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there are, any Patreon supporters or anyone out there, if you guys, if you're familiar, if you've seen any of these, I think Amazon and Twitch are just rolling them out now. So I don't know how many have been done. But I appreciate Dave G for the tip, because I'm definitely going to look into that and see if it's something we might be able to do. And we probably wouldn't do it in lieu of the Thursday. We'll keep the same format, but maybe at least during the quarantine, maybe we can do a special here and there, special watch party or something. So if people would be interested in that, obviously let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you do want to reach out to us on Twitter, I don't often post the Twitter. Because we're not very active on there, unfortunately. But it's Trick Treat Radio. Couldn't fit Trick or Treat, so it's Trick Treat Radio on Twitter. Obviously, we're Trick or Treat Radio on Instagram. We're a little bit more active on there. So if you guys want to get in touch with us, and obviously podcast@trickortreatradio.com is the email. Feel free to reach out to us. And as always, we have the Facebook group, which is always happening. Always a lot going on there, and that's facebook.com/groups/trickortreatradio. If you're not already part of it, just ask to join and we'll let you in. The other thing I actually was going to mention earlier, I don't know if any of you guys have any of you guys seen the What We Do in the Shadows TV show?
I have not seen any of it yet.
Okay, so Aries has seen season 1, and MZ and Raven Shadow, you haven't seen any, right?
No, I caught the last couple of episodes
of
the one. So I'm super psyched to not only revisit it from the beginning, but season 2 dropped, and it's so fucking good. I mean, I think it's fair. I am going to speak for us, where we all adored that, right?
Oh yeah, that was definitely in our top 13 that year for that film. Yeah,
and it's so hard to make a fucking TV show out of a fucking movie. Like, MASH. All right, fine, but I remember fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the TV series. With fucking Jennifer Aniston. Didn't really last too long, but the show is great, and they did it makes it different but similar. If you love the movie, it's new characters.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about it is it's similar enough to the film, but they take it in a completely different avenue. Like, especially, I love Colin Robinson. I fucking love Colin Robinson, the psychic vampire.
Oh, he's fucking great. Yeah.
And in season 2, he like I've seen the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen the third one yet. It just aired last night, and I haven't had a chance to watch it. But yeah, I'm loving the second season already. So. I might watch the 3rd episode tonight after this, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. But it's great. It's on FX, and if you guys don't have FX and you have Hulu, they drop it on Hulu the next day. So you can check that out. It's such a hilarious show. Raven Shadow, I think you could use a little updog though.
Updog.
Yeah, you could use some updog.
I don't understand the reference.
You could use an updog.
An updog.
Yeah. You could use an
updog.
Yeah, you could use an updog, man.
I don't know what that means.
Why don't you ask me?
What's up, dog?
Not much to you. Sorry, that was a joke in season 2. And when you see it, it's fucking even more funny than I could do justice.
Well, it's funny. Like as you're saying that, like Ollie just fucking yelling
I
at
know.
Chloe in the up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You better go get him his dream bone. All right. Well, Raven Shadow's gonna go check out. So, do you guys have anything else before we say goodbye?
I think we'll just put this to bed and be done with it.
Yeah, I think so. I think my iPad's about to die too. So I think we're all in danger of losing power. So
yeah.
All right. Well, this actually worked out pretty cool. I'm glad that we got all you guys on video. I think that actually helps. So even though you have to look at MZ's face close up, hey, it's fine. No. At least
how's it going, MZ?
Yeah, at least it's your face and not other things. At least you're wearing clothes too.
Am I?
Well, you're wearing a shirt at least.
Well, from the waist up.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's just sitting there with his legs open, nothing on. Oh, that's a fucking thought. Jesus. All right, well, let's go around. I don't know if Raven Shadow's going to get back in time, but let's start our goodbyes, starting with...
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, starting with MZ.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, Aries?
Yeah, wash your hands, wash your butts, goodbye.
All right, Raven Shadow.
All right, live fast, love hard, and now it's more important than ever. Die with your mask on.
No, don't die with your mask on.
Jesus Christ, dude. What the hell's the matter
Live forever with your mask on.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. That's better.
Forever's a long fucking time. You know what? Just fuck.
Oh,
die with your...
Corny just said y'all need to do a commentary on the animated Transformers movie.
Oh, boy.
Wait, do you want to see MZ openly weep? Do you want to see MZ cry? Because he will.
Prime dies.
Yeah, when Prime dies, you're ball like a child on a big wheel, right?
It was rough, man. The first time I ever saw that, it was rough.
That whole thing would just be MZ talking and the three of us just trying to get a word in edgewise while he's watching that movie.
Why am I kind of fascinated by that though? He would fucking be in his glory.
Yeah, he would be. He would be. So, all right.
I know that movie inside and out.
And Corny also says the TV show Alice was based on the Scorsese film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
What, you mean fucking Mel's Diner?
Yeah. Stow it, Blondie.
Kiss my grits. I had to think of Vera. Is that weird?
Oh God, yes. Moving on.
All right, yeah, let's wrap this shit up. So, okay. So, yeah, all right. Well, everyone, stay safe out there. We appreciate everyone who tuned in for the live show. We appreciate Jim Smith. Everyone go get that fucking compilation tomorrow, Waves of Hope. It'll be available on synthrecords.com. And give as much as you can because it's all going to go to a good cause. And also, for everyone who's going to listen to the podcast, we appreciate you all. And I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Wear your fucking mask. Don't die with your mask on. Live as long as you want. How about that, Raven Shadow? Is that okay?
How about, here's the thing. It's a drag
God.
Oh, Jesus, why do you ask him anything?
But don't want as long as you live.
All right, well, that's it. We'll leave on that note. All right. Well, that is all. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next week.